guys, what's up? This is the second part of the video I was mentioning before. I'll put a card up for the first one to do with the support for 3 of the duelists. This is for Weevil support, and as you can see, you've got 3 cards as well. The first is Parasite Paranoid. This card is on your bottom left, as you can see it. This is a level 2 Earth Insect with 500 attack and 300 defense. Its effect is you can only use the first effect with this card's name once per turn. This is a quick effect for its first effect. You can target 1 monster on the field, equip this card from your hand to that target. The equipped monster's type becomes insect. Also, it cannot attack insect monsters. Also, it has its activated effects that target insect monsters negated, if any. The second effect is, if this card is sent to the graveyard whilst it is an equipment card, you can special summon 1 level 7 or higher insect monster from your hand, ignoring its summoning conditions. This card is what the old Paracide should have been. It acts as an inbuilt DNA surgery and insect barrier, as well as a mini breakthrough skill. This means you no longer have to run all those spells and traps Weevil ran against Joey, or run at least less of them, as nowadays people have so much back row removal, those cards would have no protection whatsoever. The negation may be limited to insect monsters, but people run a lot of destruction effects through their own monster effects, so anything, to protect your insects is very welcome. The second effect means that when its original use has been accomplished, you can still bring out a strong monster to replace it. This could be anything from an insect queen or even perfectly ultimate great moth, since it removes its summoning conditions. This gets rid of that larvae moth meme, as now you have a guaranteed summoning for its final form. I mean, you have potential, you look at some of the other YouTubers, such as Yugi Nono, who actually, obviously, I know it's just a joke, they make fun of, it takes normally 6 turns when you have to equip a petite moth with a Cocoon of Evolution before you can get a somewhat decent beta out. Now, that used to be okay back when it first started, because card destruction was not as easy to achieve, and also some of the higher level monsters to get over that. The defense were often like level 7, level 8 monsters requiring tribute summons, and you could probably delay your opponent in that. But gone have those days. The second card is ultimately Mutated Insect Queen. As you can tell from the last 2 cards in the name Insect Queen, it's a variation on that. This is a level 7 Earth Insect monster with 2,800 attack and 2,400 defense. Its effect is, it cannot be normal summoned or set, it must be special summoned by a card effect. This is quite bizarre when you think of it. You don't typically get cards that work through card effects, but we'll go more into that a bit later. While another insect monster is on the field, insect monsters you control cannot be targeted by or destroyed by an opponent's card effect. The second effect is, at the end of the damage step, if this card attacked, you contribute 1 monster. This card can attack an opponent's monster again in a row. This is a good effect, as it can protect itself, and since this can include an insect on your opponent's field, this works well with the Parasite Paranoid card, as that makes your opponent's monster an insect, or it can work provided you have another insect on your side of the field. The second effect is, at the end of the damage step, if this card attacked, you contribute 1 monster. This card can attack an opponent's monster again in a row. This is a good ability, as the previous Insect Queen required you to tribute a monster just to make its normal attack. This provides you with the option, if you have enough monsters to want to attack, or if you don't, you can choose not to. Always having that choice is always the better option, rather than, forcing an effect through. The last effect is once per turn during the end phase, you can special summon one insect monster token. It's an insect, it's an earth, it's a level 1 with 100 attack and defense. This can be useful because you aren't forced to summon a token, you are provided with the option to do so. Also, the previous version required you to have destroyed an opponent's monster in battle and summon the token in attack position. The new version lets you choose the battle mode. Again, the choice is always there. You can choose not to summon the token now, whereas it used to force you to. So often that little token would end up, losing you the game, or you wouldn't be able to attack with the old version in fear of, if you'd gotten over the monster, your opponent would have done sufficient battle damage to create a game loss for you. The one downside of the new version is that it does not gain the 200 attack boost the old version had, but it does start off with 400 attack points more than the original, considering the original boost itself being an insect on the field. This means for the old version to be stronger, you would need 4 insects on the field in total. That includes your own and your opponent's field. I like the new version, but I wish they kept the attack boost in there. After all, it is the insect queen. It should gain power the more subjects it has, and was integral to the old card, as the more it destroyed, the more insect tokens would be summoned, the more powerful it became. Another small downside is that it cannot be summoned except by card effects. This is not too difficult to achieve, now as you have the new Parasite card, Super Cocoon of Evolution, and most classically the Pinch Hopper, which was what Weevil destroyed through the spell card Eradicating Aerosol. That is a spell card that destroys any insect monsters on the field. You can look it up if you like, and you just look on the wiki, it'll be up there. You've got variations on this for other cards as well that destroy rock monsters, spellcasters, warriors. The list goes on. Very old cards, and they would this would then special summon the Insect Queen. I believe also Pinch Hopper was used in one of the first 5 episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. This was where a gang in the backstreets bullies one of Yusei's friends, and he uses an insect deck. Within that deck included, I believe, the Metal Armored Bug, which is a 2,800 attack vanilla level 8 monster with, I think, 1,500 defense. Don't quote me on that, guys. And the guy also used a Doom Dozer. It was very much a damage card effect, damage effect deck. The last card is Super Cocoon of Evolution. This is a quick play spell card with the following effects. You can only use the second effect with this card's name once per turn. So that's a hard once per turn. The first effect is tribute 1 insect monster either player controls. That is equipped with an equip card, and if you do, special summon 1 insect monster from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. This is basically the Cocoon of Evolution in a spell card form, and enables Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth to be summoned instantly without having to wait the monotonous 6 turns with the old card. It could also be used to summon something like, I don't know, Ultimate Insect level 7. However, if you were to do this, you would have to forego, the its own effect, as it only works when it gets leveled up from level 5 to level 7. There are probably other insect monsters in there that you can name that this card could work well with. Off the top of my head, I can think Brain Crusher is quite a decent insect monster to go with. It's a level 7 with 2,400 attack. I know you're thinking, Peter, what use is that? It's an old card, it's level 7, that many attack points is not particularly that great. But the fact it can actually run over monsters and then steal your opponent's monsters makes it quite useful. Not only for just Xyz summoning, but with the Brain Zero, you've got the Link summoning, so it's even more useful as a lot more of these Link monsters have less specific requirements to them. well, as of the moment. I'm sure the more powerful ones will have even stricter requirements later on. The second effect is you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one insect monster in your graveyard, shuffle that monster into the deck, then draw one card. This effect helps to reset one of your stronger insects back to the deck to be used by another copy of this card, or through other effects, and having a graveyard effect that enables you to draw makes you more likely to get into the cards you want faster. So what do you guys think of the new insect support? Personally, from my opinion, I can see a lot of people maybe play testing this. The insect support, you've got so many insects that don't seem to always necessarily work together. I suppose some of these cards are more for the insect archetype as insect type as a general aspect rather than very focused as some cards might be. This means these can be used as staples within those types of deck, and I would love to play test with this. As always, leave your comments down below. Do you think this support, what could make this support even better? Do you think, since we've got an insect queen, that we should have an upgrade to maybe the perfectly ultimate great moth and its variations so that they actually have an effect? As it is, they are effect monsters, but their effects are more to do with the limitations on their summoning requirements rather than, to have any particular effect. I think those need an upgrade. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe. Click the bell for notifications. You don't want to miss anything. And as always, thank you for taking the time to watch this video.